Imagine this. 2,000 years ago, entire civilizations were building things so advanced that we still struggle to copy them today. Yes, even with our 3D printers, artificial intelligence, and rockets that land themselves. While you're fighting with an IKEA manual that makes no sense, they were lining up pyramids with the stars to the millimetre, or forging swords that bent without breaking and cut through steel like butter. And these weren't just for decoration. Greek fire could win wars, Roman concrete held up empires, and Damascus steel was basically the medieval version of a pay-to-win cheat code. Today we'll go through 7 ancient technologies that remain mysterious, even for our coffee-fueled engineers with their supercomputers. Some were terrifying weapons, others mind-blowing feats of construction, but all remind us of something. We like to think we're modern, but sometimes we're far behind. Spoiler: after this video, you'll never look at your patio concrete the same way again. Let's get started. 1. Greek fire. Picture it. You're rowing peacefully in your Byzantine galley when suddenly, the enemy ship spits fire at you. You panic, throw water on it, and bam! It burns even more. That was Greek fire, a terrifying chemical weapon from the 7th century. It stuck to ships and soldiers, and kept burning even on water. Chroniclers said it was like the entire sea had caught fire. In 717, during the siege of Constantinople, the Byzantines saved their empire thanks to this hellish mixture. The recipe? Lost. Oil, quicklime, sulfur, or dark magic. Nobody knows. It was fired through pressurized siphons, basically medieval flamethrowers. Result? A naval battle became a giant barbecue nobody wanted an invite to. Modern chemists have tried recreating it. Some mixtures come close, but none match the original. Honestly, a fire that floats on water, best to leave that in the past. 2. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, divers found a corroded bronze box in a Greek shipwreck. Inside, surprise, a 2,000-year-old analog computer. The Antikythera mechanism had dozens of tiny gears, as precise as those in 18th century clocks, but it was built in the 1st century BC. It could predict eclipses, track the phases of the moon, and even schedule the Olympic Games. Basically, a mechanical Google Calendar, bronze edition with olive oil. The craziest part? It took more than 70 years to figure out what it was, and even today, scholars still argue about its exact functions. Imagine, the Greeks invented a cosmic calculator, and then the blueprints vanished. Burned, sunk in a shipwreck, or lost in some dusty library. Maybe we missed an entire technological revolution. If more copies had survived, who knows? We might have had iPhones in the year 200 AD, complete with a Pantheon Maps app. 3. Roman concrete. The Colosseum is still standing after 2,000 years. Your driveway? Cracks after 2 winters. Spot the difference. The Romans invented a near-magical concrete. Lime, volcanic ash, and seawater. Unlike ours, it got stronger over time. When cracks appeared, the seawater triggered a chemical reaction that sealed them up. Their concrete literally healed itself. The first self-repairing material in history. And it wasn't just for show. Harbors, aqueducts, temples, all lasted for centuries, even in saltwater or earthquake zones. We only figured this out in the 21st century. Meanwhile, we were pouring modern concrete that crumbles if you spill coffee on it. In short, they built for eternity. We're still filling the same potholes every winter, hoping they'll last until spring. 4. Damascus steel. In the Middle East, legendary swords were forged, Damascus steel. With their hypnotic wavy patterns, these blades could bend without breaking and slice through enemy weapons like cheap tat. Problem: the recipe vanished in the 18th century. Modern scientists tried special alloys, nanostructures, strange cooling rituals. Nothing matches the original. The secret probably came from a rare Indian ore, and forging techniques passed down to a chosen few. A skill lost with the master smiths. Today, your IKEA knives rust after 3 washes. They made weapons that lasted centuries and still fuel legends. Like blades sharp enough to cut silk by letting it fall across the edge. In short, they had hammer and fire. We have 3D printers, and somehow, their swords are still better. 5. The Great Pyramid. Built around 2600 BC, the Great Pyramid of Giza is 6 million tons of stone. Aligned with true north to within 0.05 degrees, its base is flat to within 2 centimeters over 13 hectares. And all that without cranes, GPS, or coffee. Just ropes, ramps, and sweat. Some blocks weigh 80 tons, fitted to the millimeter. Theories abound: giant ramps, counterweights, levers, and of course aliens, because they always get a mention. Even today, reproducing it at the same speed would be almost impossible. That's basically one block every 2 minutes, for decades. And remember, this was when copper was the main metal. In short, they built wonders for eternity. You're still struggling with a Billy bookcase and ending up with your fingers stuck together with super glue. 6. The Baghdad Battery. Near Baghdad, archaeologists found a clay jar containing a copper cylinder, an iron rod, and traces of acid. Put together, it produced a 2,000-year-old battery. Yes, it generated electricity, but what for? Some say for gold-plating objects. Others think it was just a chemical coincidence. But if it really was a battery, someone knew about electricity 1,000 years before Franklin and his kite. Imagine a scribe charging his ancient iPod in a jar. Playlist: Top 10 Mesopotamian Hymns, a mix between Indiana Jones and MacGyver. And still, no one can explain it with certainty. 7. The Inca Walls. In the Andes, the Incas carved enormous irregular stone blocks and fitted them together without mortar, so precisely that you can't even slip a knife blade between them. Result: walls that survived centuries of earthquakes without cracking. The wild part? They had no wheel, no iron, no writing. Yet they moved 20-ton blocks up mountains with organization that would shame modern building sites. Today we can do it with cranes and lasers. Explaining their method? Still a mystery. In short, the Incas were basically playing Minecraft on nightmare mode, without YouTube tutorials. And they still won. 7 ancient technologies we still can't fully recreate: a fire that burns on water, a gear-powered computer of immortal concrete, legendary swords, a millimeter-perfect pyramid, a lost battery, and indestructible Inca walls. We love to think we're modern, with satellites and smartphones. But in the end, we're not always better than those sandal-wearing builders with ropes and sweat. They built for eternity. We make chargers that die in 6 months. So next time you walk past an ancient monument, remember, it survived 2,000 years of history, wars, and earthquakes. And you? You probably still have a wobbly IKEA bookcase in your living room. If you want more historical mysteries explained with humor, subscribe, and we'll keep going, always in less than 10 minutes. Because sometimes, understanding the past is the best way to laugh at the present.